What's up, my brothers? Got an odd one for you today. Apparently, men are paying their wives for bedroom intimacy now. He says, this seems like a terrible mistake, but I can't tell how bad yet. He says, I've been married to my wife for 14 years. We have 2 daughters, 8 and 5. For the first few years, we had a good sex life. Then it dropped back significantly. She stopped instigating and would decline if I did. When I ask, she has several reasons she rotates through. We're too old, nobody has sex very often, she's too big now, she gained a lot of weight, and I know it bothers her, but I can't say which came first. She always seems to believe we've had sex in the last week or two, even if it's been 6 months. Since the kids were born, we have had sex 3 or 4 times a year, usually twice around Christmas and once or twice in the spring and fall. Imagine having such infrequent intimacy and knowing the exact details of the infrequency. This guy must be plotting charts on this. It's the same every time, the way she's decided it should be. I rub her back and her neck, she gives me a couple of squeezes and tugs, I go down her because it's the fastest and most reliable way for her to have a couple of orgasms. Then she lays on her back impatiently while I climb on top. It's not ideal. It sounds like starfish boredom to me. This Christmas, I got her a small gift she really appreciated. Afterwards, when we had Christmas sex, she went down on me briefly, which she hadn't done in years, and asked if there was anything else I wanted. I wonder why she would ask that. That's out of character, isn't it? I asked if she'd get on top and wear lingerie. She said it wasn't that nice of a gift. I told her I'd get her 2 more. She wanted something else instead. So she's starting to negotiate, like, hey, do you want anything else? He said, yeah, get on top of lingerie. Then she says, well, that's not enough of a gift at Christmas time for me to give you that. This is where the negotiation starts to happen. I told her I'd get her 2 more. She wanted something else instead, and we ended up naming a dollar amount. At the time, I really didn't care that it was weird or might have repercussions. A few days later, she mentioned something expensive she wanted to buy. I gave her money for it, and that led to her cheerfully giving me the first BJ I've ever had in years. It continued happening since then. Part of me is thrilled. I like that we're having more intimacy. I like that there is variety. And I like that I get input into what we do. I've been in a really great mood all year, and so is she. On the other hand, it seems like this is probably offensive and insulting. It seems like I'm too close to the situation. I am heavily influenced by the fact I've had more sex this year than in the last 3 combined. Am I being paranoid, or is this going to blow up in my face? Oh boy, we are in a state of society now where men are paying their wives to essentially be prostitutes. They're paying them in exchange for intimacy. Remember, this is his wife. He is married to her. They take vows with each other in front of the church, in front of God and all that good stuff. And she's at the point where she's withheld it. He wants it so bad that he's willing to pay her and buy her things to get it. Are you unplugging and seeing the code in the matrix? This is where men are today. Paying to have intimacy with an obese, disagreeable woman that wants to negotiate more gifts for what essentially seems like starfish, mediocre intimacy. How far have men fallen? Here's the thing, guys. You do not want to negotiate intimacy, love, romance, ultimately desire with a woman. Desire must be innate. It must be natural. It must be organic. She must want you badly on her own. You must be busy working away at your home office and your phone goes off and it buzzes and you open it up and the text message says, be naked when I get there. I'll be home in 15 minutes, babe. That's what you want. That's natural. That's organic. That's unmitigated. That is the fun stuff. That's where the best stuff tends to happen. When you start paying for something, you're going to get obligated compliance, which generally, in most cases, leads to resentment later on down the road. It ain't going to be good. Men used to lead the household. Men used to have many opportunities, but today we are in a situation where, I don't know, man, like the notion of marriage and what happens for most men in marriage, like we know that one of the most common searches married men are using today on Google or whatever is, how do I get my wife to be intimate with me? How do I get my wife to do certain act with me? How do I get my wife to sleep with me? What is the point? What is the point of committing to a woman to be in a monogamous relationship, a sexually monogamous relationship with a woman, if she's not even interested in you? If she's coming up with stories and excuses like, people don't do it that often, we just did it last week, when he says it was 6 months ago. Did you guys ever hear of the spreadsheet guy? There was a guy years ago, I think it was on Reddit or somewhere, some other forum, where he started to keep an Excel spreadsheet of all the times his wife denied him intimacy. So there was the date, what happened, and her reason for denying the intimacy, and the whole thing went viral. Spreadsheet guy went completely viral. This is not abnormal. This is not uncommon. This happens more than what most married people care to admit. Guys have the innate need to want to be intimate. You have testosterone levels that are 10 to 20 times higher than women. You're going to be driven for intimacy. What I always say is, look, guys, she's got first dibs on the D. She doesn't want it. She doesn't want to exercise those dibs. Go take them somewhere else, right? I don't think that going and paying for it is the best way to go about it. You're not going to get genuine burning desire, as I talk about in the chapter of my book. What you're going to get is transactional. It's transactional sex. And there's a big difference between transactional sex and negotiated sex. Transactional is there's some form of agreement, whether that's payment, money, doing a favor, whatever it happens to be, in exchange for said intimacy. Whereas the unmitigated, genuine burning desire version of it, like the stuff where it's the text message comes in, hey babe, I'm gonna be there in 15 minutes, be naked when I get home. That's the one that you want. That's where the best stuff happens. That's the sweet spot. Anyway, guys, you let me know what you think of this video. How's your marriage been if you're a married guy? Do you get what you want, or is she denying it to you and trying to negotiate? And when you do get it, is it starfish? How does this reflect your experiences in life? Pinned in the top comment below, there's a bunch of useful links, including my book, my supplement line, my community, a bunch of other awesome stuff. Go check it out. Leave that comment below for the algorithms, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace out.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fake